following is a paid advertisement for the Steady Roller Steady Camera System. Wow! Are you tired of shaky looking amateur video? Sick of ruining all those once-in-a-lifetime family moments? Have you become the laughingstock of your social media feed?
Loser!
Then you need to try the all-new Steady Roller. For just $19.99, the Steady Roller features a patented space-age design, utilizing our own exclusive smooth sail technology. With Steady Roller, you'll be able to launch your videos into the stratosphere. Give Steady Roller a try inside the house or take it outside to see what it can really do. Steady Roller can function on almost any terrain. Its innovating steadying algorithm can sometimes compensate for the slightest of movements, occasionally giving you the professional results your videos deserve. Amaze your friends, impress your pets. Get yours today. But wait, there's more. Order within the next 15 minutes and you'll receive a second Steady Roller for absolutely free. That's 2 Steady Rollers for under $20. We're practically giving them away. Get yours today. Steady Roller can be found at most Sears locations or call toll-free at 1-800-862-1000. That's 1-800-862-1000.
Steady Roller. That's what I'm talking about. Boots, where's my phone? Hey guys, so what do you think? Are you gonna go pre-order the old Steady Roller? It looks pretty interesting, I will say that. So here we are, it's a brand new year, people are buying and selling hope, and for the moment everything seems to be somewhat calm. Hopefully it stays that way. Now today I wanted to kind of reminisce, if you will. I was going through some gear the other day, organizing, trying to switch out some older stuff, and I came across some things that were kind of buried in the back of the closet. Things that I had originally purchased with the hopes that they were going to be the missing link or something. Now these were photo and filmmaking necessities I apparently thought I needed at the time in order to be successful. Some of these things aren't quite as ridiculous as the Steady Roller, which is actually a thing I purchased, by the way, but I still cringed a bit when I started digging them out. Let me correct that statement though. The products themselves in most cases weren't necessarily the embarrassing part. I'll take it a step further and say that some of these products are actually downright fantastic. I think my expectations of what they might lead to or the ways I thought I would force them to fit into my workflow is what might have been a little unrealistic. So with that, let's just check out a few of the terrible gear buying decisions I've made in the last couple of years. And we'll start with this. Wow, look at this super realistic brick background. Isn't it so fancy? I bought these things a couple of years ago. Yes, I said these as in there's more of them. I think I have a white one around here somewhere. Now, these were like $25 a piece, and I think the idea was that I was going to use them to take portraits on. When I first started dabbling in photography, God, this is so embarrassing, I took a couple of what I thought were cool images by mistake. Meaning I had no idea what I was doing or how the different settings affected the final image. And to be honest, they were actually landscapes, not even portraits. But I was ready to go. I was going to be the next great neighborhood photographer. Babies, pets, senior pictures, you name it. All I needed was my 7D and my Sigma 30mm. Well, reality set in a very short time later, and I was left with wonderful things like these. Wrinkly, semi-transparent printed brick walls. Now, to be fair, doing things like blocking out the light, getting some separation, and shooting wide open will give you a much better result than what I got going on here. But at the time, due to my lack of experience and knowledge, I thought all I was going to have to do was hang them up and start scheduling sessions. The more you know. It makes me laugh, honestly, thinking about it now. Instant brick walls sounded like a great idea at the time. So this is the Fotowelt dual handle grip kit. I think it was like $80 or something. I got off of Amazon a while back, and what it does is allows you to use 2 hands to stabilize your gimbal. It had a ton of positive reviews and people really love it. However, I didn't need it at all, but for some reason I decided I had to have it. I think I had visions of capturing the nightclub Steadicam shot from Goodfellas or something, I don't know. Out of the box, everything looked and felt great. It mounts perfectly and securely. There's literally nothing wrong with it. The one thing that I had a problem with was I could not control the gimbal via joystick or the recentering button anymore. And don't get me wrong, it's my fault for not realizing it before purchasing, not the products. It was just annoying for me. If I needed to make an adjustment, I had to do this like juggle move or set the whole thing down. Maybe if I was stronger, it would not be an issue. But nevertheless, other than testing it for a few minutes back then, and I guess right now, I have never used it once. But let's move along. So I chalked this next one up to a total lack of real-world working experience. So I always wanted a slider, and my dream would be some automated motion control system from Edelkrone or Rhino, but they're thousands of dollars, so it's safe to say that's not ever going to happen. But I came across this somewhat inexpensive version from GVM. It claimed it was silent, super smooth, and it could track a subject, and it was right around $350. So I researched it a bit, read some reviews, and figured I would give it a shot. So I got the slider, used it a couple of times, and I mean, it worked. It definitely has its problems though. An on-camera mic would pick up the motor noise, the tracking worked, but it was pain to dial in, and the user interface wasn't the best either. All things that I expected at this price point. But the thing that actually made me wish I had never purchased it at all was the fact that it was 4 feet long. Being a noob at the time, I just thought bigger meant better. 4 feet for me, in here, is just a little bit ridiculous. I would rarely hold a shot as long as it would take to travel 4 feet on this thing. And it makes it difficult to set up and fit into tight spaces, and at times totally discourages me from using it because you have to have 2 tripods or at least some sort of bracing. And it took me a good year of setting it up and tearing it down before I finally realized I had made a mistake. I feel like this length would be much better suited for somebody shooting time lapses or any other outdoor application. Now, 24 to 30 inches would have been perfect. I should have gone with that.
That's what she said.
All right, so the last thing I wanted to talk about was by far the most costly mistake I've made so far. I'm talking about the Canon 70-200 f2.8. Now, this is a great lens. It has IS, it's an L series glass, covers a super useful focal range, and it's weather sealed. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. On paper, to me, it looked like something I had to have. It was another one of those times that I bought gear because I thought maybe someday it might come in handy, or because that's what so-and-so is using to do whatever. And that's really a terrible way of thinking when it comes to guiding your gear purchases. I'm not now, and I've never really been a huge fan of zoom lenses. I've always stuck with primes. They're better in low light, they're sharper, and by sacrificing build quality and convenience, I could get multiple mid-tier lenses that can still produce a very nice image for right around the same price. A working professional, which I'm not, might find all that L-series build quality and versatility of a zoom lens useful, but I didn't. I actually hated using this lens. I tried it a lot just to justify the money I spent, but it was just never a good fit. The worst part was that in the few times I actually used this thing, I somehow managed to put a giant scratch on the front element, so I can't even sell it now. I mean, I could probably send it in and get it fixed, but I'm sure the cost would be substantial, thus greatly reducing any return I might get from selling it. So it's just kind of whatever. I'm over it. It makes a really good paperweight. But seriously, I think the one piece of advice I'd give myself regarding all of this would be the following. There's never going to be anything more valuable than experience and knowledge. Take the time to master what you already have until it's no longer possible to move forward with it. Create for the moment, and although it's good to have a plan, stop focusing on what you might do down the road. Oh yeah, and stop buying things off of infomercials. Until next time, I'm Kris. See ya.